Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde passed away on November 30th, 1900. He was laid to rest at Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris. In 1914, sculptor Jacob Epstein created a striking modernist tomb from Hopton wood stone, a winged sphinx poised on top. Lines from Wilde's The Ballad of Reading Gaol are carved into the plinth. At the time, French customs officials treated the nude statue as commercial art and imposed a heavy import duty. In the 1960s, vandals removed the statue's testicles. They were never recovered. In 2000, artist Leon Johnson added a silver replacement. From the late 1990s, admirers began kissing the tomb after applying lipstick. The repeated grease marks stained the stone, causing long-term damage. Restoration work stripped away surface layers, leaving the stone more porous and difficult to maintain. In 2014, the Irish government funded a protective glass barrier around the lower half. Today, thousands visit each year, leaving notes, flowers, magnets, and bottles of absinthe. Some view this as tribute. Others call it disrespect. A fine of $9,000 was introduced to deter kissers, though enforcement remains a challenge due to the tomb's fame. Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin passed away on December 25, 1977, at the age of 88. He was buried near Lake Geneva, close to his home in Manoir de Ban. 2 months later, in March 1978, thieves exhumed his coffin at night and demanded ransom for his remains. His widow, Una Chaplin, refused to pay. After an 11-week investigation, police recovered the intact coffin buried in a nearby cornfield. To prevent another theft, the family and local authorities placed both Chaplin and his mother in theft-proof concrete vaults. Coursier-sur-Vevey remains a quiet Swiss village, yet fans still visit regularly. In April 2016, Chaplin's World, a museum on his former estate, opened to the public. It showcases his home, memorabilia, and film sets. Today, visitors pay a small fee to enter the cemetery. His simple granite headstone bears his name, life dates, and a line from his autobiography. Life is a tragedy when seen in close-up, but a comedy in long shot. Jim Morrison passed away in Paris on July 3, 1971. At the age of 27, he was interred in Division 6 of Père Lachaise Cemetery. For 10 years, his grave remained unmarked. In 1981, sculptor Mladen Mikulic added a marble bust and headstone reading, James Douglas Morrison, 1943-1971. Greek inscription below translates to "true to his own spirit." Fans soon began flocking to the site, leaving flowers, candles, bottles, and cigarettes. Some held unauthorized nighttime gatherings involving alcohol, drugs, and other activities that damaged nearby graves. By 2004, cemetery staff installed metal barriers and hired guards. In 1988, the original marble bust was stolen. Several replacements provided by admirers were also vandalized. In May 2025, police unexpectedly recovered the original bust during a fraud investigation. Although scratched and covered in graffiti, it was returned to the site. Morrison's grave remains one of the most visited in Père Lachaise, a lasting monument to rock's poetic rebel. Elvis Presley passed away on August 16, 1977. At the age of 42, he was first buried at Forest Hill Cemetery in Memphis. A week later, would-be thieves attempted to steal his body for ransom. In response, his father, Vernon Presley, had Elvis's remains moved to the meditation garden at Graceland on October 2, 1977. His mother, Gladys, was reinterred beside him. The meditation garden lies just beyond Graceland's pool and also holds Vernon, Minnie May, Elvis's grandmother, and a memorial for his twin brother Jesse, whose remains rest at Forest Hill. Every August 15th at 8:30 p.m., Graceland hosts a candlelight vigil marking Elvis's passing. Tens of thousands attend each year. Today, visitors tour Graceland and pay a small admission fee to view the Presley family plot. Elvis's granite headstone is simple, engraved only with his name and dates. Fans often leave flowers, scarves, shoes, and handmade tributes. Over the decades, the site has become a shrine to the enduring king of rock and roll. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe passed away on August 4, 1962, at the age of 36. She was interred on August 8 at Westwood Village Memorial Park in Los Angeles. Her resting place soon became a pilgrimage site, with admirers leaving flowers, letters, and keepsakes. In 1976, vandals attempted to pry off the brass plaque from her headstone. To prevent further damage, many graves in Westwood remain unmarked or require permission to visit. In 2019, someone scratched Monroe's plaque, nearly erasing her name. The cemetery responded by installing surveillance cameras. Westwood Village Memorial Park, established in 1905, is also the resting place of George C. Scott, Debbie Reynolds, and Carrie Fisher. Visitors may enter during designated hours but must stay on marked paths when paying respects to Monroe. Her bronze marker bears her name in elegant script on polished granite. Fans still leave roses, candles, and mementos, balancing reverence with the site's need for preservation. Princess Diana. Born July 1, 1961, died tragically in a car accident in Paris on August 31, 1997, at age 36. She was laid to rest on a small island in the Oval Lake at Althorpe, her family estate in Northamptonshire, England. The burial site is surrounded by 36 oak trees, one for each year of her life, and accessible only by boat. Visitors cannot approach the island itself, but the public can view it from across the lake. The nearby round oval features a memorial with a temple housing her statue and a path lined with Diana's favorite flowers. Each year on her birthday and the anniversary of her death, mourners leave flowers, notes, and flags at the gates of Kensington Palace and Althorpe. In 2017, a new statue was unveiled in the sunken garden at Kensington Palace, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley and commissioned by her sons, Princes William and Harry. Today, Althorpe remains private property, but its memorial garden and exhibition dedicated to Diana's life open seasonally, attracting visitors from around the world. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson passed away on June 25, 2009, at age 50. His death from acute propofol intoxication shocked millions globally. He was laid to rest on September 3, 2009, in the Great Mausoleum at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California, a secure, climate-controlled chamber usually reserved for prominent figures. The resting place, named Holly Terrace, features a bronze door and marble corridor leading to his tomb, which is off-limits to the public. Only family and invited guests are permitted access. Fans gather outside the mausoleum gates to leave flowers, messages, and memorabilia throughout the year. Security and privacy at the site remain strict, with 24-hour surveillance and restricted photography. Jackson's mother, Catherine, requested that the site remain serene and free from commercial activity. On anniversaries, fans around the world hold candlelight vigils and online tributes, celebrating the King of Pop's extraordinary legacy. John F. Kennedy, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated on November 22, 1963, in Dallas, Texas. He was buried at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia on November 25, 1963. His gravesite lies on a gentle hill overlooking Washington, D.C., marked by an eternal flame first lit by Jacqueline Kennedy. The flame, fueled by natural gas, has burned continuously since his burial, symbolizing the enduring spirit of his leadership. In 1967, the grave was redesigned with granite paving and a low stone wall. The adjacent plots hold Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, their infant son, Patrick, and daughter, Arabella. More than 3 million people visit the site each year, making it one of America's most iconic memorials. Nearby are the graves of Robert F. Kennedy and Edward M. Kennedy, marked with simple white crosses. The site remains a place of national reflection, honoring a leader whose vision of service, courage, and hope continues to inspire. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein passed away on April 18, 1955, at Princeton Hospital in New Jersey, At age 76, following his wishes, his body was cremated, and his ashes were scattered in the Delaware River near Princeton, in a private ceremony attended only by family, before cremation. Pathologist Thomas Stoltz Harvey removed Einstein's brain without authorization for study, believing it could help explain his genius. Harvey preserved it in formalin and divided it into over 200 sections, many of which were distributed to researchers worldwide. Einstein's brain has since become an object of fascination and controversy. Portions are now housed at the National Museum of Health and Medicine in Maryland and the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia. Because his ashes were scattered, there is no official grave or memorial site. Instead, Princeton University's campus and Institute for Advanced Study serve as symbolic landmarks for admirers who wish to honor his legacy. A bronze statue of Einstein sits on the grounds of the National Academy of Sciences in Washington, D.C., attracting thousands of visitors each year. Susan B. Anthony passed away on March 13, 1906, in Rochester, New York, at age 86. She was buried in Mount Hope Cemetery, a historic resting place for many social reformers. Her simple granite headstone bears her name, birth and death years, and the word suffrage. Each year on Election Day, visitors cover her headstone with "I voted" stickers, a tradition symbolizing gratitude for her lifelong fight for women's right to vote. Mount Hope Cemetery, established in 1838, remains open to the public year-round. The cemetery's staff and volunteers clean the monument regularly to preserve its condition amid the growing number of visitors. In 2020, the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment brought record crowds and media coverage to the site. Susan B. Anthony's grave stands as both a symbol of progress and a reminder of the struggles endured to achieve equality and justice. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on April 4, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee, at age 39. He was laid to rest in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park. Initially buried in Southview Cemetery, his remains were later moved to a memorial tomb beside the reflecting pool at the King Center, near Ebenezer Baptist Church, where he had preached. The tomb features an inscription from his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. Free at last, thank God Almighty. I'm free at last. Coretta Scott King, his wife, was interred beside him after her passing in 2006. Each year, millions visit the site to pay tribute, especially on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The complex also includes the couple's preserved birth homes, church, and museum chronicling the civil rights movement. King's resting place stands as a national symbol of justice, equality, and nonviolent resistance, a living testament to his enduring message. Walt Disney passed away on December 15, 1966, in Burbank, California, at age 65. Contrary to persistent rumors, he was not cryogenically frozen. He was cremated, and his ashes were interred at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale. His final resting place lies in a private gated garden known as the Court of Freedom. The modest plaque simply reads, "Walt Disney, father of Mickey Mouse." The surrounding area includes a sculpture of a family holding hands, reflecting Disney's lifelong devotion to imagination and unity. Access to his tomb is restricted, but fans regularly visit Forest Lawn to leave flowers, drawings, and messages at the gate. Disney's burial site remains understated compared to his global legacy, a quiet tribute to a man whose creativity shaped generations. Nearby, other legends of the entertainment industry, including Humphrey Bogart and Spencer Tracy, also rest for many. Forest Lawn symbolizes the golden era of Hollywood and the dreams Walt Disney helped inspire. Bruce Lee passed away on July 20, 1973, in Hong Kong at age 32. He was laid to rest at Lakeview Cemetery in Seattle, Washington, a city that held deep significance in his early career and education. His grave, marked by a simple red granite headstone, bears the yin-yang symbol and the inscription, "Your inspiration continues to guide us toward our personal liberation." Beside him rests his son, Brandon Lee, who died tragically in 1993 during the filming of The Crow. Fans from around the world visit the site daily, leaving flowers, notes, and small stones as tokens of respect. The Seattle Bruce Lee Foundation oversees the preservation of the site and often organizes events, promoting his philosophies of self-mastery and discipline. Despite his short life, Bruce Lee's influence on martial arts and cinema remains unmatched. His grave has become a pilgrimage site for those inspired by his message of balance and self-expression. Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla passed away on January 7, 1943, in New York City at age 86. His body was cremated, and his ashes were placed in a spherical golden urn, symbolizing his fascination with energy and the cosmos. Today, the urn rests in the Nikola Tesla Museum in Belgrade, Serbia, which opened in 1955 and houses more than 160,000 of his documents, blueprints, and personal belongings. Visitors can view the urn inside a marble pedestal under soft blue lighting, evoking Tesla's lifelong connection to electricity. Each year on his birthday, July 10th, the museum hosts ceremonies honoring his achievements. While there is no traditional gravesite, the museum serves as his memorial, attracting scientists, engineers, and admirers from around the world. Tesla's legacy endures, not only through his inventions but also through modern technologies that still rely on his visionary ideas of alternating current and wireless transmission. Pablo Escobar was killed on December 2, 1993, in Medellin, Colombia, at age 44. He was buried in Cementerio Jardines Montesacro in Itagüí, just outside Medellin. His grave has become a controversial tourist attraction. Some view it as a place of curiosity, while others see it as a reminder of the violence that scarred Colombia. The simple headstone bears his full name and dates. Despite his crimes, locals and visitors still leave flowers, photos, and notes, reflecting a complex relationship between myth and memory. Escobar's burial site draws both tourists and critics. Many tour companies have banned visits, calling them disrespectful to victims. Yet, curiosity persists, a reflection of his lasting impact on popular culture and global fascination with his life story. Today, security around the site remains tight, and photography is restricted out of respect for the community. Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury passed away on November 24, 1991, in London, at age 45. His death from complications related to AIDS marked the loss of one of rock music's most iconic voices. Following a private funeral at West London Crematorium, his ashes were entrusted to longtime companion Mary Austin. She never revealed their resting place, honoring Mercury's wish for privacy. Speculation about the location has persisted for decades, from Lake Geneva, near his Montreux home, to Kensal Green Cemetery, but none have been confirmed. In 2013, a small plaque appeared in Kensal Green bearing Mercury's birth name, Farrokh Bulsara. It was removed shortly after its discovery. Fans continue to gather at his former home, Garden Lodge, leaving flowers and messages on the surrounding wall, though the exact location of his ashes remains unknown. His legacy endures through Queen's music, memorial concerts, and millions of fans who celebrate his life each year.